This is the only time you're quiet.
Had an exciting 24 hours.
I've got thinking on my mind.
I did over 1,000.
We are live.
You are crazy.
We're live.
What? I'd like to call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The purpose of this meeting is to discuss some issues with the animal shelter and that alone. We have an agenda just to discuss that. And I'd like a motion to accept the agenda as written.
I make the motion.
And I'll second it. And the first item is discussion of the animal shelter. And Molly is here from the animal shelter to discuss it.
Good morning.
Morning.
Step up here.
So I made an invoice. And I went back. So I received the keys on November 7th of 2022 with a agreement of a proposed contract that was voted on and signed. I know you all are aware of the issues of some issues with the contract. So I received the keys on 11/8, so that's what I went back to, is 11/8 to present day. Detailing each day that was there. Some of the things were shelter work, and then other items were stray homes and stray care. If you notice, the past 2 months, the stray care has increased. So what is happening right now is the only thing that's coming into the shelter is by Tell City Police, Hamilton Police, or the Sheriff's Department that will bring in the stray animal. When that happens, I'm now getting notified and going to care for that animal as well. Because Harrison County is full, we can no longer, they can't accept our animals right now. So I've been very fortunate for some of these, a lot of these strays, I've been able to find the owners. Some of them is taken overnight, so it requires, you know.
So my question is, Molly, I see that here where you picked up a black lab, and then you found the owner and took it back, but you did not charge them, I'm assuming? You just returned their dog to them, or how did that work?
Well, here's the thing, I haven't charged anyone in our community yet.
Okay.
Because, A, I'm not under contract.
Right.
So I don't want there to be issues there. When she's taking money from me.
I got it.
B, that's really the main reason.
Yeah, I get it. We're kind of running here outside of, yeah.
When we get everything buttoned up, there'll be charges for that.
Correct. You have to, that's how you support the facility if you,
Absolutely.
I mean, that's part of it.
And in hopes of that, if it can be reduced of county, city contributions, you know, we can sustain ourselves.
Right.
Yes, and we've been looking at the animal control ordinances and the Animal Welfare and Control Board, and we're redoing some wording and taking out some things, and I don't know if that is in there, but I will check to see, and you can tell me whatever fee might go in there if that dog is there per day or per whenever until the owner is found.
Well,
So
I
that
know-
would help a lot.
I think we should do, you know, what others around our surrounding
Right.
counties. You know, Harrison County, they do $10 a day. Surrenders, $40. Same thing when they come to pick up an animal.
Right.
So if, you know, I want to stay along the lines of that.
That's no more than right, yes.
Well, I've looked through here and I haven't item by item, but this is up and through February, correct?
Correct, this is up,
Okay.
let's-
225.
yes, 225.
I know you've made several trips back and forth from this, and it's just kind of been a, yeah. For the public, it's total for November, December, January, and February, the hours she spent totals up to $1,800. I think it's fair.
I make a motion to,
We'll have to send it to the
Council.
council, and with the recommendation that it's pulled out of that fund that we
Yeah, the
have
restricted
set
fund.
aside for maintenance, upkeep, because a lot of this was
right.
in conjunction with not only the repairs, but some cleaning
Mhm.
And maintenance of the building.
Yeah, so I would be fine with that. So
Yeah.
Becky made the motion, I'm gonna second it. All in favor of paying this invoice out of that? Also.
One thing I wanted to ask you, Molly, on your, like Fredericks and the other people that have come in to, I see you have that on here.
Mhm.
Now, are you gonna pay them out of this money?
No,
We
we're
paid that.
paying that.
Okay.
We actually already paid
Okay,
that.
because, okay, thank you, thank you.
What Molly had to do is go up there multiple times.
Oh, I know,
And She
I know.
was up, I was up there with her one time, and she's got the key, she opens it up, then we go in there,
Mhm.
spend a little time, and we're
Mhm.
back out the door, but she has to make a trip up, she has
Sure.
to do the whole
Gas ain't
process, so
free.
she was,
Her time is worth it.
yep.
I just
So
wanna
that's
make
what she
sure
did.
that that wasn't coming out of this, because
Yeah.
this
He-
is for you.
He sent invoices, and I presented those at the last meeting.
So we
Okay.
got that to pay.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Great.
Did, that hasn't, the council hasn't approved that
No,
yet.
it's on
So
there.
that'll be on the agenda next week, okay. We get those paid.
Can I bring up the other issue that I talked to you about yet?
Yes, I didn't get a chance to talk to Sergeant Glenn because the
Right.
issue that went on last night, but I am contacting her.
So, I'm contacted multiple times a day already,
I guarantee it.
Yes.
wanting me to take their animal.
You're now the name.
Could you speak up, Molly? sir?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm contacted multiple times daily, wanting me to take their dog bad. I want to help, that's why I'm here. But unfortunately, I can't right now with the public, because if I did, we wouldn't get the shelter open. I would be caring for the animals. So the focus right now is get the shelter open,
Correct.
then care for the animals. But we have a court hold in Harrison County.
On the
And
dog.
Harrison County has reached out to me and wanting me to take this court hold dog back. Because, again, they're full.
It's our animal?
It's a Perry
Yes.
County court hold.
Okay,
Went in December 21st.
and it's still there.
22nd, wasn't it?
It's intake
Oh,
21st.
intake was the 21st, okay.
Still there. They've reached out, trying to get some answers. They can't get any answers. They wanted me to take the dog last week, and we can't do that. It's a court-held dog. You all are contracted to hold this dog. But I will take it to the commissioners, and I will find out, because I agree, we should be holding this dog. It was a neglect case. But where this dog is, it's not much better. The dog's not getting, it's just in the cage for 24 hours a day. It's supposed to be out for 1 hour, but they're full.
Okay, so let me.
So I want to
cut-
bring this dog back.
Okay, I know you do. That's because you have a soft heart.
But-
That's what we want up there.
Randy, I want to specify too, this dog has cost Perry County
$10 a day.
over $700 so far.
Right. We're paying the bill still.
Yes.
What our challenge is, we need to get the place open. And that way you get the insurance and you can get to work. And then this is not a question about bringing the dog back. So fortunately, Becky got a new roof put on, sprayed on, another coating, which is great.
It looks
Didn't
wonderful.
Didn't cost the county, let's hope it lasts longer than the last one, but nonetheless, the roof issue is addressed. Now,
Correct.
Ed has ordered a couple more parts. Have those got installed?
I'm gonna call him today. It was for the water heater.
Water
I'm gonna-
heater,
I'm
because
gonna-
I think it's critical for you to have hot water.
I do have hot water, because I've checked. I do have hot water and it's hot. But there was, I think it's a coil or something.
It is, it's how the
Yep.
boiler loops in to make that. You probably have a secondary for other uses is what, it's a smaller tank. This will make you a bigger volume,
Mhm.
is what it amounts to.
Okay.
Which, if it's, do you have heat? Can you
Yes.
run the heat? Okay. So you got your floor. So we have heat, we have water everywhere, and we have
I've
minimal.
laid on the floor. It's wonderful.
Okay. So what's stopping us from opening it?
Security door?
Can you operate without that door in there?
I can. I
For,
can.
I'm saying for, you know, that's something
your
in the works.
safety.
I
Something in the
can.
work. In a month or so, it should be in and going, but I'm thinking
The
with
one
this issue.
kennels, that drywall needs to be, and if we can,
Repaired.
if we can cut that out and get that board up, but I can house dogs in the other kennel room.
That's what I was wondering, if you can house them there until we get the studded drywall part addressed.
Get all the
And then-
door and the rest of it, because
Yes, and move them
I'm
over.
anticipating within a month or so, we could
Yep.
probably get that completed, Stan?
Can we like open up just emergency cases?
Well,
Only,
or
like,
what we're
you know?
getting, and I know exactly what she's seeing, because I see it too. I've got this cat, I've got this dog, I've got this, and we've talked about the animal shelter, and Molly's name is tied to that, so they just reach out to her and say,
Yeah.
come help me. And she's sitting there going, well, I'd like to, but the center is not open. I really don't. And what we want to do is get our liability insurance in place.
Sure.
And everything, so that we've got these details buttoned up in the event there's any kind of an issue
And
with an
I
That
animal.
should be just like a phone call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
don't-
think we can open this thing up, as long as you're comfortable with running it. We know that back drywall needs to be repaired. We know we want to put the door into separation and the magnetic locking mechanism to let them through. Right.
I have to get a hold of the fire inspector in the county. We have to have these exit signs wired in at all exits.
Okay, so
Because
we don't
they-
have those, so that's a matter of getting we'll have to find us an electrician.
Yep, and
My
new,
husband's an electrician.
Okay,
And-
so you can handle that.
and new fire extinguishers. That's why I want to talk to this,
Those will be updated to see if they're within chargeable and there's 2 or 3 companies that service them.
yep, that's why I want to talk to the fire inspector to make sure that he don't come in and say, this ain't legal, we're gonna, because they can shut you down.
We do not have a fire inspector, you would have to pull that out of the state.
Well, Tony Thomas,
Who's Ryan Waniger?
That's
Waniger.
the guy.
Yep,
But is he what, just a
He's from
district?
He's from the Homeland Building and whatever that is in Indianapolis. He works in this area.
Yes.
Because I'm familiar with his name, but he does multiple counties around here. He comes in to make sure everything's as it should be. But as far as the dates on the fire extinguisher, the exit lights, those are a given. We have to get them up.
Yes.
Right.
So, it's just a matter, and on the fire extinguishers, we can look in here in the courthouse, I'm not sure who services these, but, there's 2 or 3 different companies that do it, and if we have someone, I don't know if it'll make any difference if they do it for the county, it might be a little cheaper, maybe not, I don't know, but we can find somebody to get, fire extinguishers, and depending on the dates of them, whether they're suitable for being recharged or
Right.
not.
I don't think these, the ones
Some
that
may
are
be
old.
a
Pretty
shelter or
old.
not.
We may end up just buying them then. A lot of times buying them is cheaper than going through this whole process of
Having
new
new.
valves and new,
Mhm.
so, and then that gets you up quicker, so, Stan.
Molly, would you have to go get this animal, or would they ship it to us? Or do we have a?
Go to
a
Harrison
vehicle?
County? Are you talking about the one in Harrison
Yeah.
County? More than likely, I would go get it.
Okay.
that would be a $275 charge if they brought it back.
Oh, okay,
So more than likely, I would go get it.
yeah.
But
So you mark your mileage and keep track of
she
all
needs
that.
to come back here.
Yeah, I know she does.
Well, and I appreciate that Harrison County during this period of time
Sure.
has helped us out.
And they
Yes.
have.
And they have, and
Tremendously.
they did not have to do that.
No,
So
no.
if we can work with them in any way, I think we should. I mean, just as a good neighbor.
And I have been, because I understand that they're full, and if they take any animals in from us, they're going in a crate and they're going in the hallway.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, we can't do that.
So let me get back.
Okay.
When are you comfortable with opening up now in the current situation as it is? Would you open tomorrow?
Do we have a contract?
That's
I've got
something
one in
we-
front of me here, and we're gonna go through that as soon as we start, if we get a contract, let me put that as a caveat put together.
Okay.
Would you open tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, let's get on the contract.
Let's do a soft opening. Let's don't make it a
Oh,
big grand opening.
Yeah, right.
You know,
You get your feet wet. I mean,
Yes.
I'm okay with that. but
Emergencies only, you
Yeah.
know, like.
Some way where
this is an
you-
emergency.
Well, I think it's a restricted, like we discussed in the meeting,
You.
law enforcement.
Yeah, just get it started. I don't expect you to say, hey, it's open house, dump them all on me, but,
Mhm.
because I think there's gonna be some issues that none of us are aware of,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to address those before we get a whole building full of animals. And
Yes.
So we'll kind of crawl
Soft.
before we walk, and, we'll see.
because I don't want to have a whole building full of animals before you even open.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm
That's
sure,
what we don't
I'm
want.
sure you could fill the pens up right now
Yes.
with all the calls you get.
Yes.
And so,
Okay, so the
Yep.
first thing I'm just gonna, and I'll go through, I highlighted these. The first, I'm using your old contract from November the 7th. And the first thing is I just pull out this 501c. I looked online, you're listed as a nonprofit. It doesn't designate what you are. I think you're gonna end up being a 501c3,
Mhm.
which accepts charity, but you haven't got that recognition yet. So we just
Correct.
put you in as a nonprofit, get rid of the reference to 501c3.
Okay.
Okay, and then, let's see, we're coming up here, and the other one says here that we assign our existing leases to the premises at a rate of $1 a year. Now, that lease currently kicks out about $1,600. And my concern with that is, it's just like where we are today, that's a county building, and if that money gets diverted outside of maintenance of that county building, then we're gonna be sitting here going, oh, now we got a mess that we've gotta go back in. It's just like if you have another roof issue.
Mhm.
I think that's an issue the county needs to address, not you as an animal shelter operator.
Mm-hmm.
So that would set that money aside. Now, I'm not necessarily opposed to building that fund to a certain amount. We have some money in there now, and it may be sufficient, and that we can some way work out an arrangement where if you get into a situation where you're in need, where we can pull some money out of that to help. I think we need to stay fluid on that, but I would like to have the money in order to keep the building maintained, so we don't have to go back in the future and say, now we need to fix this, we need to fix that, we need to fix that. We just need to fix it as it happens, to the facility. And that's my reason for that.
and
So-
we don't expect you, as commissioners or the county, to take care of major problems.
No, we're gonna do
That's-
that. That's our, and you just let us know, you lost a water heater, you lost a furnace, you lost a whatever,
Mhm.
and that'll be pulled out of that money. And then the county will keep the facility up, so that we don't have to go
That's
back.
for you.
We don't have to go back through this issue again, we wanna open the shelter up, we wanna change something, whatever, and we have to revisit any of the maintenance issues on the building. This keeps it up for us.
But that would be a transfer out of the budget if there's something come up. that-
Yeah, we would have, that
It would
money.
Go through the normal
Yes.
process.
What that money is, it's the lease holdings from the next door neighbor that pays, and it's into a restricted fund to begin
Sure.
with for that. That's
Mhm.
part of the covenants when the county took the
Yep.
building, so that's the money there for that. So there's no reason for us to accumulate huge amounts of money in there, and I don't know what that'll be, because I don't have any idea what the maintenance might be on the building.
The auditor would get the invoice and they.
Exactly, and it would go
It
through
would
the
come-
process.
Go through the council and
And,
then.
if we get into a situation, let's say, for instance, that Molly has a need for something up there that's rather expensive, and I don't know what that might be. That would be an area where she could come back to the county and say, hey, I would like to install XYZ, it's $10,000 to do a certain thing. That would allow the elected officials to review the process, have a source of funds rather than to try to get them out of the riverboat or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we could actually fund something like that if it comes up. And I'm just speculating, I don't know that it will, I don't know what would happen, but it would be a funding source.
Will the council have to have a special meeting to do something or?
Well, whenever, we could have it during a regular meeting. If she
Yes,
came in and
okay.
the commissioners would approve it, you'd have to appropriate the money out of that designated.
Unless you all did want to call a special meeting, if it was like
That'd be
an
a-
Emergency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, you can do it
Yes.
rather quickly, but
Sure.
otherwise, it would be something. But it would actually give us a funding source to make sure that facility stays top-notch, is what it meant. And that's my interest in that. If you're okay with that?
Well, I mean, it's the county's asset, so you have to protect that. And-
Right. We want to keep it up in shape.
Yeah, and actually, we're not done yet. We have guttering to put up,
Right.
downspouts.
Mhm.
Got to
Uh,
keep the birds and stuff, whatever we have
Oh,
to keep
yeah.
them out of the inside
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. So we're talking of painting the thing.
I mean,
and
there's-
so
right.
We have expense yet there on it, but we want to make it
Yes.
look like a professional operation.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
I
what-
mean, it needs to, and we are,
Correct.
after touring some of the other shelters in our surrounding counties, we're blessed.
That's a nice
Yes,
shelter.
it
We're
is. It's a
blessed.
nice
It just-
facility.
It just needs to be,
We're blessed, and
Yeah.
we need to give it to TLC and get it
Yes.
back up, and maintain it, and maintain the asset.
absolutely. That's
So-
the
And
point.
I want to make this clear to anybody watching out there in TV land and everyone here, that I am so appreciative of this lady right here. If it wasn't for her taking this step,
We're
Not yet.
anticipating knowing you, but I.
Not yet.
I second that. You can tell by her wanting to bring the dog back home from
Yes.
Harrison County
Yes.
and treat it as it should be treated.
Well,
It says something about yourself.
I wanted to bring it home last week, but I can't make that call without, because it is a court hold, so.
Okay, the next thing, Molly, down here is under J, and it talks about reporting to the Animal Control Board.
Mhm.
And I've spoke with Becky a little bit, she's on, I think that board's what they call it, but I would like to incorporate that as basically your go-to group, so they work with you, so it's not you out here by yourself, and put a layer between you and your Animal Control Board, and then, if it need be, come to the elected county officials.
Correct.
So that you have somebody that's more active in working with you through these
Mhm.
issues, and I would like that as part of this.
Yes.
Okay, and then the beginning dates, the amount of the money is not a big deal. When it says in here Perry County, I would like to refer it back to that Animal Control Board, is who you talk to first.
Okay.
And then if it goes, the need arises past that, then you bring it back to the county elected officials.
Okay.
Covered insurance, what we need to do is make sure this thing calls for the county to have it covered as far as the building's concerned, and we need to make sure that our insurance reflects that you are actually leasing the facility, so that we have the coverage we need, and then you're providing the liability. So it's,
Correct.
and we would be named also as a secondary on your insurance for liability purposes. Other than that, that's the only thing I'd change.
this would also cover if, with, you're still gonna have contractors and they're working, it would also cover them.
Contractors should have workman's comp.
Yeah, they should have,
For their employees,
they're
but
bonded.
But that would fall under, it's
they
something.
personally have to have, their contractors should have workman's compensation in the event they're.
Yes.
And they should provide us also with liability insurance and a certificate
anytime
of
somebody
insurance.
Do
does
they
any work-
provide that with you?
No, they'll need, when you hire them, you need to require.
What if the county
require-
does, though? Like for
Well,
the
we are.
gutters?
I'm
and-
actually doing it with the.
Yeah, I mean, whoever
Okay.
lines it up needs to,
Yeah,
yeah.
when Becky gets whoever that contractor's gonna be, then they should submit a certificate of
Yeah.
insurance.
Yes.
For Chris, and then she has a record of it.
I
So
will.
that we we make sure that the person doing the work is in, so that we don't pick the line. But that's my issues that I would change on this, and it's not a lot. But if you're okay with it.
I'm
we'll
okay
get
with that.
Redrafted. Then, how quick do you want to,
So what is there, commissioners meeting next week?
Monday.
Monday.
Monday?
Can that be done by Monday? We can sign it at the meeting?
I
Can
don't see
Andrew
why
get
not.
on it that quick?
I don't think, there's not a lot to change here.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So if we
Is
have-
that
That's
doable?
I
And then
think
that
so.
way we don't have to wait another 2 weeks? Because this has to be done in a meeting, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll sign it then.
Okay.
I mean, we'll go, put it up, we can sign it. We have, I think the funds have already been appropriated.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll be able to get your pay and you'll be able to open the door and maybe the 6th is the magic day. So.
I like the 7, because I'll do 6.
I'm talking about the date.
And, you know, like, after this contract is signed, that's when you will be able to get a lot of your volunteers to come in, help paint.
Correct.
And
Right.
That,
You
that,
get started.
I've been holding, well, everything I've been holding off because
Right.
of.
Right.
I'm sure you have a
It's-
schedule of what you want to do and that.
We need to open it up, we need to get it going, and this, we're not gonna, if we wait till it's perfect, it may be next year, so let's get it started.
Something else, Randy, she's gonna need furniture. She don't even have a desk. I see the room back here.
Get with Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel actually has, we just talked about it yesterday. There's some good furniture, it's
I will
older,
take
but
you
there's
and
some
show
stuff
you
back
before you
there.
leave.
Yeah.
And she actually talked about it, but she kinda hates to get rid of it, cause it could be
It's
used
suitable,
somewhere, yeah.
but it's back in the back room over there.
Yeah.
If there's
I'll take
something
you and
that
show it
works.
to you, this stuff we have.
Because I know they had said something to me about contacting Dixon and auction it off or something.
Yep.
If we can use it within the county
We can use it
offices, why?
internally,
Right.
absolutely.
And it ain't gonna
Because
cost anything.
The pennies we get in an auction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we get a lot more use out of it.
Because you know you're gonna need furniture for your lobby, your desk, and your conference room, and, you know.
You might want to talk to the mayor too, because I know they're removing a lot of the furniture from German American.
Yes.
If there's something else that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's, they might have it
It
in
might.
storage or something.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Good idea.
You know, there may be a chair or something you might want to put in the lobby out there for someone to sit if you're going to bring a dog out to them or something like that, that might work for you.
Yeah,
Or something.
Okay,
wonderful.
All
All
right.
right, thank you. I'm gonna give you this too.
okay,
I made you a copy.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna find out about this.
Having no more business at hand, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Chris, you've got this, right? Copy.
Yes, she gave me a copy here.
So stick that in the packet for the council.
On 23rd, does that have to wait 2 days? Can I go ahead and?
I don't know. I think he said, oh, you mean that microphone?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Frederick's
don't know.
bills are set to be paid on the 23rd. I already got those in. They're,
Well,